Now I want to serve as a guiding light to others. Our goals are to maintain contact and to deliver a constant message of hope to our young people who are broken, lonely, in bondage, and on the verge of dying or going to prison. What often helps young people is the relationship they build with their mentors. For many young people who have been deprived of the warmth of human relations have been captured by those who does not have the best interest of their well-being. We do not ask them to love us, but to trust us. Truth to the youth means being straightforward to our young people about the dangers of the street life. That has to be done in an atmosphere of love and trust. We are open to hear and talk about their angers, frustration, their fears, and concerns. In return, we talk about our love for them. From the very beginning, that has been the root of what has grown into Truth to the Youth program. Now, when Truth to the Youth has started, it was in 2013. The police had raided my household. It was February 15, 2013. When they raided, they found 18 grams of heroin. They charged me with 4 sales. That's what I was being charged with. But before that had happened, I was about to get my son and take him out the front door to take him to his bus stop so he can be able to go to school. I seen something black run across through the window. And it was all black, so I didn't think nothing of it. Then next thing you know, they came in and said, Mr. Jackson, we have a warrant for you. We got a warrant to search this house. They went straight to the drugs. And I don't know if my ex-wife had told them where the drugs was at, but I was okay with that because I know that she was feared about losing another child. She already lost 9 to the system and afraid to lose another. I said, okay. Went to jail. Withdrawing in jail. Throwing up. Pooping on myself. Shaking like a fish on the bed. I was sweating and I started getting up and I started looking into the mirror and I was losing weight. I was deteriorating. I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I couldn't sleep. I gave my meal to whoever came to my door. And one night, I got up and went to the toilet. And I started to throw up, but I wasn't going up. It was like it was coming up, and I was just like, oh, it would come out. My head on the toilet, and I looked through the water, it was just water. And I seen the bright light from the cell. And I looked up under the seat, right there. And right there, I thought it said crunch. So I wiped my eyes because it was blurry. I looked at it again. Illuminating words came out. Church. Right there, God met me at the toilet on the jail cell. God meet you wherever you at. And right there, I gave myself to Christ wholeheartedly. made a covenant with my hand that I would never touch a drug again, substance again. I made a covenant with my feet that I would not drag the streets again. I made a covenant with my nose that I never put a dollar bill in my nose or a straw. I made a covenant with my lips not to smoke crack cocaine, put another pipe in my mouth no more, not to smoke do another can of anything no more. I had to make a covenant with my whole being to use it for God. This is the temple of the Lord where He lives. And I just gave everything up to God, and I said, God, please deliver me. Take this thing away from me. He said, CJ, what do you mean? What are you talking about? What do you need to be delivered from? God was asking me, did I really know what I needed to be delivered from? So I had to name it. If you're trying to be delivered from something, you have to name it. Just don't say, God, deliver me from it. If He's going to ask you, what? And He might not, but then again, you have to be clear of what God wants to heal you from. I got out, went home, still withdrawing. Took me 4 months to withdraw. Got a job and everything, and then we had to move. Then when we moved to another place, me and my son, before that, my son one day, he asked me, I was sitting watching a movie with him in the room, and I just noticed some hair. And he looked me in my eyes one day. He said, Dad, he said, why your eyes look like that? I'm like, I'm tired. He's like, your eyes always look like that. I just didn't know tell you. He knew, that it was high. And right there, I said, Lord, I got to do something. Because I don't want my kid to go down the same road that I went down. But I told him not to do the things that I did, but I was lying to him because I was doing the things that I was telling him not to do. And that's what it is, that, being to the truth, because we can be living a lie and telling them a lie. And they sometimes they believe that it's the truth until they get old enough. It's like my dad and my mom, they're lying to me all the time. So what happened is that when we moved to another place, his friends used to come over. And I'm like, I need to start with the kids and the community and start taking them places and doing things with them. And I started taking them to church. And this was the time when I had the people across the weekend with the high school church. And then I had end up with that. And then I started doing things with the kids in the community, with his friends. And this is I just went past this last night, is that a few pictures. I started taking them out to the park and let them meet Riley, the police officer dog. Started taking them around, doing positive things in the community, because they thought that their dad wasn't doing well, and it happens, So they used to come always over to our house and play games. So I said, I need to start doing something with them. So this was one of the pictures there, and then another picture with me taking him to Dairy Queen on Broadway. Started taking his friends, and like I said, getting connected with the kids and knowing what state dreams and aspirations is, what they want to do in life. And this one here, I had started a basketball team outside from my house, basketball with the kids and stuff. So they was calling me Coach C. I don't know nothing about basketball, but at least I tried. I know nothing about it, I think somebody said, CJ, you don't like sports? I'm like, no, I think my sports was game banging and all that, so I did. So here's another one, with the kids out there shooting hoop. I had them out there mostly every day shooting ball. They kept me busy, and it kept me away from going back to my addiction. And this one, my son, he really didn't like taking a picture, but this one that all started the truth to the youth right here. And this was the first three, 4, 5 young men that helped me start the truth to the youth ministries. I also had a picture with them praying by a skunk in our yard. And three of them and my son took them to church and they got baptized. So with that, we can live a lie and tell our kids not to do this. But that's when it had started. So before I went to prison, me and my son used to ride around, and we seen some little kids, and they was doing a fundraiser for cancer, and so they were selling frozen cups, right? So I drove past, and we pulled up on them. I was like, "Hey, what you guys doing out here?" "Oh, we selling frozen cups, trying to get donations for cancer." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." So I introduced myself and my son, and they told me what was their goals and stuff, and we laughed. I still got the video of that. And so I said, "Okay, here go $1. Go on, give us 2 cups." So we joined in and me and my son, we started driving off. And I told my son, I said, "Man, this is what's going to be your ministry. God is going to use you." And I said, "You okay with that?" He was like, "Yes, I'm okay with that." And I said, "Well, Daddy is about to go to boot camp." And not knowing what God was going to do. So, because I was facing 12 years. I was facing 12 years. So not knowing what God was going to do. So ended up going to court, everything. He was with me, and I was in the court. And the judge, he asked me, he said, "Man, what did you got to say, Mr. Jackson?" So I was fiddling with my thumb and everything, trying to figure out what to say. I had a pain lawyer and everything. So, and I got up, and I remember what God said. He said, don't be afraid about what you're going to say. I will give you the Spirit to give you the right thing to say at the right time. So right there, I started crying. I'm like, "Yeah, Your Honor, I could have died. Somebody else could have died. The kids is out there. I'm not crying about the time that you're going to give me, but I'm crying about the kids that's out there that's going to experience the same thing that I was doing." The news people was there. A lot of people was there to see to see what the judge was going to do. And mind you, that the judge that was supposed to be there, he wasn't there. The prosecutor who wanted to prosecute me so bad, she wasn't there. So this was the divine appointment that God had. And when I said that man said, the judge said, "You know what, Mr. Jackson, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a deal with you." He said, "I'm going to give you 3 years. Now, the 19 grams didn't come up, 18 grams didn't come up, but the 4 cells, but then he only charged me with 2 cells. But he said, you continue to do what God has been doing in your life for the whole year and a half that you've been out on bail. I'll give you 3 years." I said, "Yes, I'll do that." He gave me 3 years handed down, and I went to prison and went up and only did 18 months and was right back out. So the truth to the youth, and that's where it had started. And I just like, when working in jail, when I was working on it and everything, putting it together, I had a mentorship group there. While I was in treatment, one guy started crying, and he was like, "Man, I need to do more in my community, not just for my kids, but for the kids in the community." This man was crying, and I knew that God had something in store for this program. And it took me 9 years to get it together and fully not. Because God has placed other people in the ministry to help perfect it and bring it to birth. And we need your help as well to speak the truth to the youth and bring this thing to fulfillment. Amen. We can't do it alone. Everybody that's here, not here, please support the kids' future. Please. Thank you.